Sheikh Ahmad Hassoun was sentenced to life in prison by this court in Damascus today. They found him guilty on charges of incitement of premeditated murder, incitement to civil war, and a host of other charges which the court classified as war crimes and crimes against humanity. Ahmad Hassoun was a politician in Aleppo until back in 2005. The former President Bashar al-Assad appointed him as the Grand Mufti of Syria, the country's highest religious authority, and it is in that role that he came to be known as the Mufti of barrel bombs. For his vocal support of the Assad regime and its methods, prosecutors in this courtroom said that he delivered sermons to regime soldiers ahead of their campaigns. He also vocally supported Russian and Iranian interventions here in Syria, providing some sort of religious legitimacy to the regime and its choices and methods. This is one of a number of transitional justice cases which have been heard by the court here in Damascus, including trials for senior officials up to and including the president himself, Bashar al-Assad. They were tried in absentia and sentenced to death. Now, in terms of Ahmad Hassoun's case, there is the possibility of an appeal, and his lawyers mounted probably the most substantial defense that we have seen yet in these transitional justice cases. They said that his statements were taken out of context. They asked for experts to examine the audio and visual evidence to see if it had been edited. And Ahmad Hassoun, in his own testimony, said that rather than abusing his position, which he was found guilty of, he remained in that position in order to mitigate harm rather than cause it. He brought witnesses into the courtroom who said that he helped them get their relatives out of jail without asking for anything in return. But prosecution witnesses said that he and his son enriched themselves by asking for thousands of dollars as well as gold in order to get people out of the Assad regime prisons and dungeons. In terms of what happens next, it does look likely that this man will spend the remainder of his life in prison. There are further trials of other officials incoming. But as for the senior members of the regime who fled to Russia in the immediate aftermath of its fall, including Bashar al-Assad, his brothers and some of his cousins, it's unlikely that they will be extradited in order to face the justice that Syrians are so desperately asking for. Heidi Pett, Al Jazeera, Damascus.